Hello, I'm FX Toycat, and welcome back to Q&A Saturday. This is the not very weekly series where I answer your questions about Minecraft, the universe, and everything in between. And given that 1.16 came out a couple of weeks ago now, I figured this would be a great opportunity to answer your biggest questions regarding Minecraft. And we're going to start with the first and perhaps most important question, because Minecraft really is upping the monetization recently. So Bleak Cell Derige asks, do you think that with all the recent monetization of Minecraft, that the game will ever have a pay-to-win aspect? And this is a really big fear for any game that goes down the microtransaction route, and given that Minecraft is expanding and expanding and expanding microtransactions, trying to get more and more money out of every single player, it makes sense that the easiest way they could do that is by making you pay to get an advantage in certain types of minigames. However, it is worth mentioning that even on the servers, which aren't Minecraft microtransactions, you're not officially allowed to get any advantage from what you pay. It has to be cosmetic only, and therefore it'd be very weird if Minecraft themselves started doing it, and that's before you even start to work out the logistics side of, wait, how can you have pay to win stuff in Minecraft? I mean, unless it's literally like, oh yeah, there's a thing you can buy that lets you find diamonds more in the overworld. There are very few things you can monetize. The best thing you could do is like have a cheat system which is paid on the marketplace, but in reality, Minecraft is very safe from pay to win. Even it, like, again, you have to fundamentally redesign the entire point of the game, because there's very, most people who play Minecraft, the standard single player game doesn't have winning, so you can't actually make people pay for it. And when it comes to servers, that is covered by a whole separate thing. And yeah, I really do think because of that, you don't have to worry about the whole pay to win concept. But I think Minecraft, again, makes you think like, oh yeah, these are cosmetic only. That's not the big problem. It's not pay to win. But personally, I don't think there's just two types of microtransactions, the good and the bad, pay to win and not pay to win. I think that microtransactions are all about how much they segment parts of the game that you previously could access, and they try to sell it to you, or even trying to use popularity to make you buy things because your friends want them. I think both of those things are deplorable, and I think that's what you should worry about. Obviously not pay to win, but just because it's not pay to win, it doesn't mean it's not a problem. Just like our next question from Awesome Axel, who says, is there a seed for Bedrock Edition with a full end portal? And the simple answer is that there is not yet, and the odds of us ever finding one are next to none, because every single end of portal frame has a 1 in 10 chance of generating with an IF ender. Having all 12 therefore is a 1 in a trillion chance, and there are 4 billion Bedrock seeds, so you can work that out as roughly 1 in 250 chance that any one of those seeds anywhere within them actually have it. But interestingly enough, that means if you check 250 strongholds on every Minecraft Bedrock seed, your odds of finding one are not too horribly low. So somewhere, in some Minecraft Bedrock seed, there is probably actually going to be a 12 ender portal seed. However, it's going to be so far away from spawn, most likely, that it won't really be usable. So that's a little correction I want to mention right now, that if you're only counting one stronghold per seed, of course you'll never find it. You need to go into the hundreds of strongholds, which do exist across a Minecraft Bedrock seed, at least in theory. In practice, it's a bit more complex. But again, for now, let's just say it's possible one day with enough, thousands of hours of, checking via a computer program. But for now, we can just say, no, if someone says they found it, it's probably not true without significant proof. But I would love if someone found that. It's just no human can. And even the computer programs to find it aren't really out there right now. Anyway, that's super interesting. But let's talk about the Nether update, huh? And here's the interesting thing. Zombified piglins, as they're now known, cannot exist on peaceful difficulty, despite being neutral mobs. If you attack them, they become hostile to you. And unlike every other mob, they're just programmed to not exist on peaceful. But piglins, because you need to trade with them, can exist on peaceful. And I am so curious, what happens if you spawn one in? So I have set the game difficulty to peaceful, as you can see right here. Very slowly, and that is a piglin. Let's see what happens when he's meant to become zombified, because Brody Builder Gaming asks, what happens if you bring a piglin into the overworld on peaceful difficulty? Does it still turn into a zombie piglin? Oh, I thought what would happen is that was like a backdoor way to get zombie piglins, but instead, the zombification process kills the piglins. Piglins literally die in the overworld. I mean, I'd argue when they became zombies, they literally died, but now they literally vanish into thin air, and this is the most interesting way to see a mob stop existing. I don't think there's a mechanic like this otherwise, for a mob to just literally pop out of existence because it transfers into another mob. So yeah, this is a first for me, and I find that very interesting. Also, just as a fun fact, Striders still exist on Peaceful, and if you want, you can still, use one of these if you're really down with that. So yeah, you know what, this is the one mob everyone needs in their game in Peaceful, but you can't have piglins in the overworld just striders. But I think that's a trade-off worth making. So the next question here is a really important one if you're going to the Nether for the first time on a new world, because you might be curious, like Morty420, what a fun name by the way, if you make a portal in the overworld, can it spawn inside of that huge lava lake in the Nether? And again, this seems like a real big concern, because what the Nether does, it just like takes your coordinates, divides them by 8, and tries to roughly make a portal there, which means a lot of people are terrified that if they make a portal too low, or there's nothing just above the lava, that the portal will spawn them directly into lava. And given the number of times I've spawned next to lava, it's very terrifying. However, this actually won't happen to you. You won't ever spawn in the lava lake, because the the pathfinding code for the Nether portal is actually looking for a certain number of air blocks to replace with the Nether portal. And because lava does not have air blocks within it most of the time, the worst you can spawn, the very most bleak of locations, is you can spawn directly above a lava lake with just 4 blocks of obsidian to allow you to be safe from it. And you can also spawn below the lava lake with pretty much no way above it, but you won't ever just spawn and immediately lavaed, because also, fun fact, while you're in the portal, those portal blocks cannot be overwritten by water or by lava. So even if you did somehow spawn a lava lake, which isn't possible by normal terms, as long as you didn't walk forwards, you wouldn't just instantly die. So yeah, a lot of people make chests when they go to the Nether. It's a good idea, but you don't have to ever fear dying without retribution unless you walk forwards into some lava, as has happened to me many times. Anyway though, let's move into the next question here. So the next question comes in from Parker Nixon, who says, Toycat, how's your mental stability? And this is a good question. I mean, everyone's inside a whole bunch, and it's important to check up on other people. However, my favorite thing is this response from Toilet Funk Town, who says, he drinks orange juice out of a fishbowl, Parker. And I just... I like that a lot. But anyway, yeah, no, mental stability is something that is especially important right now. We're all especially focused on our physical health, i.e. the collective health of our communities. But one of the most important things that you can only really do too much for yourself and those directly around you is helping out with your mental health. I think talking to other people, asking them about it is very important. And I think also making sure that you're doing okay is good too. If you're not doing mentally well, that doesn't just affect you, it can affect those around you. So focus on that mental health. I'm trying my best now. It's been 4 months, so it's very hard to like slowly bring my life to a stage where I feel like mentally balanced, getting exercise back in there and stuff like that. And I think it's important for everyone else to do. I think I'm like taking a small dip, but I was clearly at some form of peak because I didn't go crazy and go on a shooting rampage, but I have been drinking orange juice out of a fishbowl. So which is worse? You can leave that in a comment down below. Someone's going to find that offensive. They're going to be like, oh, Toycat, don't you know shooting rampages are a serious issue over here? And you know what? That's why I made a joke about it. But you know what I didn't make a joke about? It was this next comment by Maxim Telegin, who says, is there a video that you put a lot of effort into, but it did really bad and you were disappointed by that? And this is the tale of being a YouTuber. You don't know what's going to succeed because it's all based on machines trying to analyze your video, ignoring the content and the themes and the stuff like that that people like, but instead it's trying to algorithmically vibe whether people watch this video more than an alternative in their subscription box. And sadly, the one that breaks my heart the most is I did an entire run of Minecraft using Nether-only items, which is surprisingly hard to even get to the Nether with those conditions, but I managed to put it off. It took me, many hours. It was a really fun run, I'll admit. I even found ancient debris during it, but we went through the video multiple times, cut out as much as we could to try and get it to be like a watchable half-hour video, and then it went out and it did pretty averagely, like even worse than like some dumb videos where I just talk about the current bugs in Minecraft, which, we should do again, clearly, instead of playing through Minecraft's entire, Nether. But yeah, stuff like that, it's kind of a bummer, and I want to just like give that video the tiniest bit of a shout out. But when you're on YouTube, you got to kind of realize that like there is a system you're playing by. It hurts, and sometimes people take that out on their subscribers, but it's not your fault that YouTube didn't deliver you the video. As a result, again, it hurts me, but you just gotta not take that on the audience. You just gotta realize that the stuff that is doing well, the stuff that your audience is liking, is the stuff that you've got to work on, and that can be hard to do when YouTube breaks your heart. But you know what? Maybe your heart shouldn't be broken by YouTube. So let's move into the next question here, which comes in from Christian Corradini, who says, was there ever a reason why they changed where ores spawn in 1.16? And if you don't know, in Minecraft Bedrock, they did entirely change around all of the ores, all of the underground blocks. They basically rearranged the entirety of the underground for every world. This was something I first discovered, and now you can find it on the Minecraft wiki too. But you can't find any official explanation. I actually asked someone who works at Mojang, I won't name them, but they are a developer on the game, game, and they said there was a reason, but they weren't, they were going to announce it in 2 or 3 weeks. But in that time, they never announced exactly why they decided to move around all of the underground, and as a result, we don't know in the slightest why they could have done it. I mean, the best theories is that they needed to reconfigure the whole world engine because the Nether needed a new one, but at the same time, it's like, well, the Nether's got all these fundamental flaws that don't quite match the Java version, and like the Nether update was starting to update those biomes beforehand. So yeah, there was some reason, probably game efficiency, that they had to update that, but we still aren't really entirely sure, and it's kind of wacky. Anyway, with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Yago Olivia01, who says, what's something that fans/subscribers do which sometimes annoys you? By the way, doesn't it blow your mind that if 01 is the year you're born in, you're 19? Is that just me that's shocked by that? Anyway, though, to answer this question, the most common thing that I would say that actually annoys me, because I would say the coolest thing about having a YouTube channel is how many people are coalesced around these same ideas, and it's cool having a bunch of people on the same wavelength with the same rough interest in Minecraft and its weird niche teas and agreeing with like ideas of honesty, etc., etc. But the the kind of downside of that is that when you have a huge number of people, a lot of people don't think they're talking to you, they're like talking about you of other people, and I guess that is more effective sometimes. But what it means is that when you make a new video, I'm always excited for new videos to see what people think about them, and I rarely learn what people think about a video. What I instead see is 100 first comments. No, 100 of you can't be first. One of you is first, and the reason the rest of you don't see the first comments is because it takes a while for it to load up. If you're typing a first comment, 99% of the time you're not first, and even if the 1% of the time where you are first, you know what, it doesn't actually help you out in the slightest. If I see a first comment, I'm not like, wow, this guy is really impressive. No one else looks at the first comment going, wow, this guy did a dream of mine. No, this is a comment that helps no one out and just clutters the comment sections the first 15 minutes. Then after the first 15 minutes, you start to see comments that are just based on the title alone. If the video is like how you can turn your zombie piglins back into zombie what are they called? Zombie villagers? Zombie pigmen? Not piglins, pigmen, very different name. But if you want to turn those dudes back, it's like, oh yeah, the comments will be all talking about their suggestions. Oh yeah, you don't want to do this. And it's like, no, this was a texture pack review. That was just the title of the thing. You're commenting about the title without even watching the first 5 seconds of the video. No, this isn't like a game where you riff off the title. This is a video I put out. If you want to talk about the title, there are ways to do that. But no, the comments will be like filled with that for the next 15 minutes. And then after that, there's like this idea of like memeing around. There's common like comment templates like nobody, toycat, I'm going to make a video talking about how to turn zombie pigmen back into zombie piglins or whatever. And it's like, no. These are all objectively not useful comments. They don't help me. They don't help anyone. I guess people must enjoy them because they upvote them. But the problem with YouTube comments is they only allow upvotes. The downvotes exist, but they don't do anything, fun fact. So that means that even if 90% of people hate it, if you get a reaction out of the other 10%, you get those comments at the top. And it means that if we look at any video, if we look at, for instance, my video about 44 things you should know about Minecraft, let's check the top comments right now live, shall we? So the first top comment is one I actually really enjoyed, although it was just someone making a joke about the video. What are the Mario Bros views on trading with villagers? And it's like, this wasn't relevant to the video at all. And then it's like, oh, the igloo basement's just what's the zombie villagers. Okay, that's kind of nice. That's at least someone talking about it. Any entity can fit in a minecart or a boat, laughing, ender dragon, and wither noises. And it's like, well, that's a fun joke. But actually, if you use certain tags, they will be stuck in there, right? It's just not, they won't go in there by default. But it doesn't mean they won't fit. It just means they can't go in there. But it's like, haha, I tried to prove you wrong. And everyone's like, yeah, you sure got him. Then it's like, it's the only block that completely changed its forms when coming into contact with water. And then lava, am I a joke to you? Well, lava's not a block, right? And at least he at least acknowledges it's a fluid. And even like the main blocks themselves are like kind of different. It's a whole weird thing, but like, it's, people are always, like, trying to do that thing where they're like, I got you on some weird technicality there. And that's good. That's how you could grow if these people weren't just trying to use, like, technicalities. I love when people correct mistakes because at least I learn and can be better. But when people, like, correct non-mistakes and try to be smart about it, it's like, I don't know about that. Also, this one, sure, this is a good joke, but, like, you know what would you give an opportunity to improve minecarts? That's right, a cave update. I do agree. People laughing at jokes by repeating them in the comments. No one, the captions. Hello, yeah, exit, iCat. New title, give you... There's a lot of things like this where it's like, oh yeah, I didn't watch the video. I left a comment and this is how things go. And I just find that kind of weird. Like, even though the video is called Tips for Survival Minecraft. Tip, play Minecraft to avoid dying. I am so clever. I did that indeed. And I don't know. But yeah, thank you, by the way, Minecraft Comrade, for being a member. But also, your comment wasn't very good. But apparently, people like that joke, and it's just me. I'm just out of touch of the comment sections, clearly. Anyway, with that said, let's move into the final question here. So the last comment today comes in from Ryan X, who says, what is more valuable, dead bushes or gilded blackstone? And you know what, we could answer this the normal way, or let's load up some Minecraft now, and let's look at the two blocks side by side. They're both very rare blocks that you can only find in certain locations, and they're very rare blocks that can be placed down on top of certain blocks, except actually that's just the dead bush. The gilded blackstone can be placed anywhere. So although the dead bush right now is technically inferior in every way, because when you break it, you just get sticks. When you break the gilded blackstone, you get yourself some gold nuggets, which are very little value, but slightly more than a stick, I'd argue. Given that the gilded blackstone can be used to make a house, so you can flex that rare and valuable resources, whereas the best house you can make out of a dead bush is this one right here. Actually, you know what? Let's try and make a nice dead bush house. So I know that I'm an excellent Minecraft builder, so you don't have to comment on that first. I know I do a very good job. But which house do you like better? The dead bush house, which very arguably is not a house made of dead bushes, or the gilded blackstone one? That's a comment the description down, the comments down below are gonna have to debate over, because honestly, my feeling is that Gilded Blackstone is the new rare fun ore. That if you want to flex actual rarity, actual wealth of exploration, this is now probably better than the Dead Bush. But the Dead Bush, because it's so useful, is probably still better as a currency. You wouldn't ever destroy it, you know, like for reasons besides fun. Whereas Gilded Blackstone, you might sometimes want those gold nuggets so bad you break it. I wouldn't, but some people might. And as a result, yeah, that is the end conclusion of this one. Dead bushes have been usurped by the Gilded Blackstone, unless you want a currency, in which case keep the dead bushes. But if you're playing by yourself, you don't need currency, unless you've got, I don't know, manic schizophrenia. And then if you've got that, then I would say many more issues than what to worry about in terms of Minecraft currency. Also, hope that your mental health situation is improving in the current pandemic too. But speaking of the current pandemic, there's been a real chronic lack of Minecraft seeds, am I right? Well, good news, tomorrow's Seed Sunday is coming out, and I've got a seed that a lot of people asked to see the seed for, and I'm very excited to be showing it off tomorrow, because after this is done, I'm going to be checking out the seed that had a nether portal with just a single block missing next to spawn. A nether portal that was ready to complete the moment I loaded into the world. This was my fastest ever entry of the nether on a random seed, 1 minute and 19 seconds. It was insane, and if you want to see the seed and lots of other fun things that we found, you can do that tomorrow here on your channel. That's right, I'm using Q&A Saturday to promote other things, because we don't do Q&A Saturday very often. It's a sad thing. Maybe we should do it more, and that's something you can let me know if you'd like to see in the comments down below. Who am I kidding? The comments down below are going to be nobody, toycat. I don't like these nobody, toycat memes, and that's why we should give up on comments and all go back to faxing each other messages, am I right? No? Okay, just me. Thank you for watching, though. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you have a glorious Saturday evening, because I am gonna be streaming later, and I'll see you there. Man, you know, too many self-promotions. Don't watch any of my other stuff. This should be the last video you watch. I'm gonna go drown myself in the ocean, and you should too. Goodbye.